Alright boys, how was all then?
Alright,
Good.
We're
man.
back! Just like we said we'd be back, eh? What we say, welcome to the live Scottish Cup final reaction. We've got fucking something to finally be angry about. That's why we've took 2 months off. Anybody want to still be furious about it? Because I am.
A wee bit, actually, aye. Completely fucking spoiled my day.
It was a good day, wasn't it? It was spoiled by Hearts. Back to the good old days, the days that we love, wasn't it? Brad's, what's been happening? How are you?
I'm doing alright, mate. Aye, just dodging away. I can't believe that was the last time we did a podcast. Was before that fucking final. There we go.
I know. I just
You
looked
just
at my
made me
notes.
raging again.
I just looked at my notes and it was full of nothing but optimism and absolute delight. And then that's what reminded me of there when we came on it. How's your summer been? You must have been working hard. You must be flat out just now, mate.
Yeah, my golf's getting better, aye. So few games a week. I'm just a full-time dad now, eh? It's mental. Watching a 2-year-old run about the house and tear it apart while I just sit there quietly thinking about how I can escape it. So
I thought you were talking about looking after Tam. Tam, how have you been?
Oh, good. Bradley's been looking after me well, to be fair. So it's been a lovely summer so far.
Got to talk to the boys about your TikTok T-shirt that you bought.
I'm just
that at Tynecastle.
Yes, that's fine.
We'll just leave it there. Ando, you bought a new house. What's happening?
Well, that's been the highlight of the last couple of weeks. Bought a house, moving all my shit.
That's when you know
the
podcast is making it in it.
Oh, exactly. Just gonna fucking make it rain money all over the place. No, all good, man. Moved into the new place. Obviously, there are shades of Kev's crack den, as you can see. So over the coming weeks, this will be decorated with Hearts memorabilia. It'll look fucking smashing. But it's a work in progress. All good.
It is the brightest room on planet Earth. Yeah,
it is, isn't it?
Couldn't be any brighter.
It's like the fucking light bulb up there, right? It's like it is actually a small portion of the sun. It's fucking absolutely cooking me. I'm sweating. I'll not say what I was going to say there because I forgot we're clean these days. But
we're back.
I am sweating like someone in a tight spot.
You look like you've died. This is for heaven.
And what's it called? Fucking
Purgatory.
Purgatory when you're waiting on us and you're stuck with us knobheads.
There's absolutely no chance Ando's going to heaven though. So this
absolutely not. Right. See, when I finally shuffle off the fucking mortal coil, I will be right down the front and centre in hell. I'll save you all a seat and I'll get the beers in. How's that?
Right. Well, you'll be next to the person that I ventured on to kickback because obviously we're trying to drum up people to help us with a TIFO. And one of the first threads or whatever you call it I seen was someone said like section N, row 11, seat 21, and folk just moaning at a pre-season friendly because people wouldn't sit down. I was like, for fuck's sake. If anything could encapsulate this fucking website, it's that. People crying like it was 6,000 folk there or something yesterday. They were complaining that people wouldn't sit down. So there you go. That's where you're going, mate. When you die, you're going straight to Jambo's kickback.
I thought you meant section N, row 11, seat 12. I'm like, I'll go there. That's fine. I don't mind.
Well, as I said, we're back. Welcome back to This Is My Story, your unofficial Hearts podcast. As we say all the time, and as we'll continue to say this year, all of our opinions are our own. We are unofficial. What's it called? Unaffiliated to the football club. Is that what we say? I can't remember. It's been that long since we said it.
We like them, but they didn't like us too much. There's the
that's very true. So, we'll talk about pre-season. Nah, it's up there with international football. So I'll let Tam and Bradge talk about it. They love Scotland like they love pre-season. We'll talk about signings. We've made a few. We've made some decent signings as well, and they've looked pretty decent so far. Talk about Europe. Obviously, it's on the horizon. We've got European draw coming up 2nd of August. I am reliably informed. We'll know who we are playing in the one-off shootout for the Europa League. Season tickets, the new season tops because they're absolute belting. We'll have a bit of a European quiz. We'll talk about last season's predictions. We'll talk about the thing that Ando said he absolutely wouldn't do, that he's did twice, and we'll talk about season predictions as well. This season's predictions. So we'll go through it and everything in between as well. So, get cracking. Unless there's anything else we missed, then, boys.
No, sounds good.
No, just rattle my mic stand a few more times and piss everybody right
Sounds
off.
like your
but,
desk is made out of tin.
then it-
Like, honestly, does.
it's just a fucking microphone stand. Honestly, it'll be sorted for next week. Don't worry, it'll be fine.
So before we start the European quiz, might as well talk about some positive stuff that has happened over the season, the close season. We've completely and utterly sold out season tickets, which is class. There's about just over 15,000 season tickets or whatever, which guarantees that other than Hibs, Celtic and Rangers are looking at being stuck in the corner at Tynecastle, which is great news for everybody. We were begging the club to open Section K and start selling that and reduce their space even more, but obviously 15,000 season tickets is outrageous, isn't it, boys?
Brilliant.
Absolutely, never thought I'd see that.
Aye, it's impressive. Hopefully we put some performances on in the park and shut the Old Firm fans up, because I can't be sitting there like it was for the Rangers under 13s beating us 3-1 or whatever it is with a quarter of that stand, thinking it made a difference, and they absolutely battered us. Funny games.
A full stadium booing is a lot better than half a stadium, though. So, like,
that is very true. I'm looking forward to that. Actually, it's an aspect that I haven't even thought about. And the other thing, this Saturday, obviously we're recording Sunday night. This Saturday coming, opening game of the season, and it's a complete and utter sellout. So again, well done to everybody. That's going to be fucking superb.
Can't wait.
Sound loads of enthusiasm. That's what I love. That's why we love this podcast.
You know why it is? Because everybody's getting buzzing, and we're like, "Oh, it's Ross County. This has got 0-0 all over it."
Aye.
Oh God, you kidding? I'm fuck it. If we're gonna do, actually, no, never mind. We'll save it for later.
Well, like you said yesterday, Brad's in the group chat. We beat East 5-7-0. They beat East 5-7-0. So it is going to be 0-0. It's got 0-0 written on it, isn't it? Or 4-0 Ross County. But with their predictions later. Obviously, some sad news over the summer as well. Everybody knows the news and seen the news that we lost cult hero, Hearts legend Drew Busby over the summer. On Saturday, we have full stand Wheatfield tifo in honour of the great man. We will put some information out on the social medias about what to do on Saturday with the tifo and stuff. We've spoken to Drew Busby's family, who were amazing. They're so touched by the outpouring and sort of emotion for the Hearts fans towards their dad, husband, uncle, all that sort of stuff. They've been blown away by it. They kind of said that they would like the tifo to be during the minute silence, because the club have said or will announce that they're going to do a minute silence before the game for Drew Busby. So we'll put some instructions as to what to do with the tifo and stuff. And again, just a big massive thanks to absolutely everybody that got behind the drive for money. I think we raised just short of £3,000. Drew Busby's family themselves even donated, which was amazing to see. And again, like we've done loads of times before, a massive thanks to the club as well, who are going to match the money that we raised. So we've raised thousands of pounds, which is decent. We're going to hopefully have not just a tifo in honour of Drew Busby on Saturday. We're hoping to try and get some form of big flag as well. Maybe not the size of the Zal one, but something there or thereabouts. So a big massive thanks to absolutely everybody, for me and all the boys in the podcast.
Yeah,
absolutely. Phenomenal effort.
It was indeed. And I actually raised a point when I was talking to his family about, and loads of folks shared stories about Drew Busby, etc. Like when he was inducted into the Hearts Hall of Fame, they kind of said like, "Oh, people don't know who I am," or like they want to be bothered about me and stuff. And again, it's like I feel that we, not just as a club, but as a fan base, and I need to do more to celebrate the heroes of our football team, because it shouldn't take for them to pass away for us to sort of show our love for them. Do you know what I mean? Like you look at the guys that we're still lucky to have, like John Cahoon and Robbo, Gary Mackay, Paul Sergio, Jim Jeffries, Rudy, etc. And I know that we know what they mean to us. Like sometimes you wonder if you think, do they actually fully understand like how much they're adored by the fan base? So it's something that we should definitely look to try, and I don't know what we do like, but we should definitely try to do something to make sure these guys feel the love. Agree?
You know, there's
Savour them.
there's so much empty space around that stand that could be used. I mean, we've had Mingen half cut down signs up there for the last 20 years. It's not going to take.
On that.
Mate, it's on my notes. I think I wanted to talk about.
Do you know what? See if they took it down, Ryan Corbett would be raging. He wants to be toast.
Aye.
Do you know what? Like, they could have that up the billboards there. It's not going to take. It's not going to cost an arm and a leg to put big, massive banners up there or big plasterboard cutouts or whatever it needs to be, or like they've done and they painted the walls inside the ground. Just put a portrait up or a facts or stats. It takes nothing to just kind of encapsulate these guys' careers.
Aye. Was it Brian, the guy that we interviewed for the Foundation of Hearts stuff? Sorry if that's not his name. I can't remember his second name. I'm sure it was Brian. He was a police officer guy. One of his ideas was the Maroon Mile or whatever, like in and around Gorgie within the stadium. We should have, fucking almost the yellow brick road. We should have maroon road and flags and bits, certain points along the road that celebrate people that are connected to the football club, so that you know that actually 300 yards away from this sign is Tynecastle or whatever, rather than you have no inclination that the stadium's there until you get under the bridge and then turn right on McLeod Street and then can see the main stand. And it was one of the things I really liked about what I had. But you're right, Brad, so it's like even just stuff in and around the stadium, like you've got big empty brick walls, you've got the sides of the stands that are just basically look like scaffolding. Like we could get stuff up there to celebrate the outrageously rich history that we have with players, trophies, etc., etc. I know that's Celtic and Rangers fans will laugh at that, but considering we are the third biggest club in Scotland, it's something that we should celebrate now. So hopefully it's something that the club are looking at as well. Try to think what else we're going to talk about. Oh, aye, before we got our Euro quiz on the go as well this Friday. For anybody, two things. Anybody that wants to help us put the tifo out for Busby, meet at the plaza or the main stand, outside the main stand for 12 o'clock on Friday, and we will help you. We'll meet you there and get you into the stadium, etc. But we also wanted to say that on Friday, big massive thank you to Rab Lockhart and Liam Anderson for their help and their ideas about the season ticket drive. Obviously they helped and they created the ticket drive last year, which was really successful with the Rangers game, where we managed to give away like 120 tickets or something like that, and then we raised enough money. Was it like 30 grand or something like that? We ended up raising. It was something close to that, wasn't it? Because the club matched our donation, and we ended up being able to give away at least 100 tickets for every game remaining for that season, which was like 6 home games or something. So the boys got together at the summer and decided actually they'd do a season ticket drive, and because of the backing of the Hearts fans who are phenomenal, we managed to buy, I think it's 20 season tickets. So on Friday we're meeting Broomy Hill, maybe I'll get the actual name of the Broomhouse Primary on Friday, because we're going to give the school like 16 season tickets or something like that, which is outrageous. We've managed to give tickets to a local football team, a couple of families, etc., that couldn't afford to come. So there's been loads of amazing stuff happening in the close season. Right, boys, you ready for your quiz?
No.
No, I'm fucking
Don't worry,
nervous.
there's
Like, I've not done one of these in
how
ages.
many Kevin Jameses between here and Berlin or whatever it is. There's none of that. There's none of that stuff. Don't worry.
I've not missed these quizzes coming last every week, so yeah, I'll keep up the tradition, I imagine.
Yeah, that's true. I almost made a ridiculously inappropriate comment there, but we'll leave it as the first. Oh, I almost said show as well. It's the first podcast of the season. We'll keep it friendly right now. Right, 5 questions, couple of bonus questions as well, couple of nearest to the pins. So our first ever European game was in 1958. Kev went, but he's not on, so we can't talk about it. So Hearts in our history, we've been beaten twice by sides that would eventually go on and win the competition. Can you name either of the sides? If you get both of them, you can get like fucking 40 points. If you get one, you can have 20 points.
Is just hand up, or are we you going around
just fucking about it. Tam doesn't even know European teams, man.
I'll go Bayern Munich.
That would have been my guess as well. That's how I read them.
So
I
I think they're a Belgian team, but I can't remember their name. I think our first European game was a Belgian team, was it not?
No, not our first European game.
All
I
right.
said our first game. We've played in Europe since 1958.
Ah, right, okay.
And in the time that we've played in Europe, we've been beaten twice. Like 2 teams have beat us that have eventually went on in the competition to win the actual European Cup. So
Right.
Did we get beat off them in the same season
yes,
they won it? Is that what you mean?
basically, aye.
Right, okay. Bayern Munich?
No.
Liverpool?
Nope.
Yeah.
Atletico.
Nope.
Schalke.
No, but they're one's a German team.
Rather than us just naming loads of European teams, I'm glad you're.
Who said Hamburg?
I said Hamburg.
Right, you got 20 points, but you've got to keep your own points because I'm not doing it. So you can have 20 points. If you get the next one, you've got 40, obviously.
What's the country?
Paris Saint-Germain.
Not PSG.
What's the country?
I'm not telling you that.
Oh, you just told us.
Yeah,
that'll be
fuck
too
off,
easy.
Tam. You're not getting
Yeah,
that.
It's fair country that there's like 2 teams that you would know about.
PSV?
Nope.
Feyenoord.
Or Netherlands,
Yeah.
sorry. In case people fucking moan. Ken, actually,
Zaragoza.
see, Cabs, just if people are moan, right? Another thing when I went on the kickback, right? Somebody actually messaged us to say, "Oh, I hope the display is biodegradable or someone's going to pick up the rubbish." For fuck off, man. It's like, fucking get a life, man. Did you see someone else also commented on our thing with saying, "Oh, would it not have been a better use of the money to donate the money to a hospital or something?" I was like, "Well, it's 2,600 quid. What the fuck does that buy in a hospital? A vending machine. Here's the Drew Busby vending machine." And I was like, "How?"
5. Here's 5 boxes of Drew Busby rubber gloves.
Sake,
For the
man.
for the proctology department. What the fucking hell kind of
I
shite is that?
responded and said, like, feel free to do your own fundraising. If you want to raise a fucking CT scanner or whatever the fuck they're called for Drew Busby, then you do it. But we're doing a display, biodegradable or no. Right. Well, that was a weird one. That was funny. Right, go.
Inter Milan.
Not in that country.
Standard
Not in that
Liège.
country.
Fuck it. Right. Oh no, they're the same country.
Right.
Shit.
Sporting Lisbon. I don't even know if we played them.
We've not played
Okay,
Sporting
No,
Lisbon.
it wasn't Sporting
Have we?
Lisbon, but they're from that country.
Benfica.
Wait, 20 points for them.
Yes.
There you go.
That was a total. I knew that answer. That was
Fucking,
good.
you absolutely crawled ass backwards into that one, you dick.
And I'll be signing my 20 points on my piece of paper happily.
Right, Hearts became the first ever Scottish side to qualify for the Europe, like the group stage of the UEFA Cup. We now call it the Europa League.
Yep.
What year was that in? We actually were the first British club
Oh,
to qualify for the group stages.
2005, 2006.
Right, I'll take your guess, Ando. Thomas.
2002? No, it would have been before that,
No, it was
surely.
later than that.
Bradley.
No, it was later.
I'm going 97, 98.
No fucking chance, man. It's well.
When did it
It's
come
either
on?
2005
When
and
did it change
6
over?
or 2004 and 5.
What one you want to go with, Ando?
You should always stick with your original, but I'll flip. I'll say 2004,
Correct
2005.
decision. For 1 point, so you're still you're 19 behind.
Fuck off.
It was
I don't know.
2004, 2005.
Right,
For
okay.
re-bonus
Because it was we had to play them all at money.
bonus points. Can you name the clubs that we played?
Schalke.
You're not getting bonus
Schalke.
points. It was Ando.
Schalke, Ferencvaros. Basel.
Basil's one, yeah.
We only played. There was only 3 of them, weren't there?
No,
Or was there
it
4?
was a
I
group
can't
of
It was
remember.
like 5 or something like that.
Right.
One there.
Ferencvaros, Schalke.
You actually said them earlier.
Tam, he's going to get 19 points. You dick, shut up.
Schalke, Basel, Ferencvaros.
You're not getting a point for every time you say Schalke. Stop saying it.
Ferencvaros, and that's not a show name because I can't put other letters in. Oh, wait a minute.
Well,
smoking a
that's
pancake.
unlucky.
Feyenoord.
That's unlucky.
Right.
changed my page. So, but I'll give you the 19 points. I'm a nice guy.
Thanks, mate. Fuck you, Tam. I'm
I
winning.
remember I told.
Oh no, I'm just drawing even.
I think I've told the story
No,
before that
shit.
like
The moat of fire.
that one. But my mum is one of those annoying people that are like used to say random things like you can't fucking eat before you go swimming, you can't drink on a train, you can't do that. Literally, I had no idea where fucking Holland was. I was like 18 or something going on my first European away day. She told me that it was like near the Arctic or something and it was freezing. So I wore about 18 layers of clothes, got to fucking Holland and it was fucking roasting. I was like the only Hearts fan there with 3 jackets on. It was outrageous. Plus, I went with Andy Stewart of bike speed fame and I took €120 spending money and spent it in the airport. Not the airport.
What?
Like 2 days. We bought a bottle of like Cointreau or whatever it is. Like, we bought like a bottle of vodka and a bottle of Cointreau or whatever because we're like, that'll save us money for when we get there. It did, but we were drinking straight fucking Cointreau and Hingway, and I can't even remember what happened.
Did they eat the whole weekend?
I never. The only thing I remember is being in a McDonald's and a queue of Hearts fans going up to have a Big Mac meal, and then the wee women behind the till going, "Do you want a large meal or should I?" And then she went, "What, a large Coke?" And we were all going, "No, would you?" That's it. Then the next person got large Coke. Oh, how did you know? That's like, fuck, man. Right, actual horrendous part. Right, number 3. This is the closest to the pin. How many games have Hearts played in Europe?
Oh God.
Does this include
I'll
qualifiers?
go with.
Aye, all of them.
All of them.
Tam, we made this quiz 3 minutes before we came on.
Tam, that's not a question for a grown person
What do you
to
think I
ask.
was doing?
Right. I'll go with 58.
Right, 58 for Ando.
I had 48, and then I thought, then you've got to play home and away, so I'm going to double it. I'm going to go with 96.
You were like, you said double it, and then you're like, oh fuck, I'm going to have to double it. Right, 96. Thomas.
74.
94. You're such a wee dick, Tim. 80. 80 is the right
Right
answer.
down the middle, Tam.
Fucking
Aye,
hell,
right down the middle and got it right. And just for see that team for the Dog and Duck League that we battered on Saturday, just for reference for all them fans if they're listening, when their nans or could come up here and be the top goal scorer. In their whole history, they've played 14 games in Europe. Get it up, yeah. Enjoy the Dog and Duck. How shite were Stoke?
Oh, mate, they
were so bad, man.
Bad. That was their full team day. That was brutal.
Absolute garbage, man. Right, anyway. Let's go. Right, actual, for a bonus point, right, let's work them out. How many are you behind?
Probably
points did I
a
get?
lot.
No, you're all pretty much. Would you get for that?
Right.
1. You
One.
got 1 because you literally went in between the both of them. So, just the way you like it. Right, 20 points as a bonus point. How many games have we won? Closest to the pin, because I'm nice.
26.
22.
I'll go 38.
You're a wee dick, Tam. You win again. How have you managed to win that
That's
again?
2
It's
points.
26. It's you said 26. It's 30. Sorry,
Right, okay.
30. We've won 30. And it was something like won 30, lost 30, and drawn the rest, or some shit like that. Right, next one. You actually lose 10 points if you get this right. Most appearances for Hearts in Europe.
I think I know this.
Go for it.
Is it not a doubler?
No, you're going to lose yourself points, well,
Well,
I did say that.
If
I
you're not
did
your
say that.
pal Henry Smith, and then is it no the what was his name? The wee snake, Elvis.
Yeah.
Or what one you going for?
I thought they were both the same. If you're that raging, it's going to be Snaky Elvis. It's going to be Presley.
You're right. But if you would have got some points if you'd stuck with your original Henry Smith, because you're right. They are both joined together. But you went the snake route, like I fucking knew you would, you snaky bastard. So you get minus 10 points for you. Again, for bonus points, what are they tied on? How many appearances in Europe?
22.
you know, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say 22. I'm going to go 23 then, Ando.
And I'll go
Other Tam.
21.
Oh, God, no, predictably, Tam's going to go 20.
Well, and Ando, you were absolutely correct. 22.
No chance.
Shut up.
22 is correct.
What?
Aye.
Like, actually, fucking
You're
get
well
it.
got Google
Up
open,
yours,
man.
Tam.
Mate, do you want to take a stab at some other names that could potentially appear on that list?
Oh,
Craig Gordon.
Maybe other go.
That's
he's
what I
good
thought as
there,
well. No, he's not on it.
it'll be someone ridiculous like Jamie Hamill.
Gary Mackay, because he's like leading.
Gary Mackay, yep,
He's-
he's
Yeah.
Craig Levine.
Craig Levine's on it, that's true.
Yeah.
Robbo.
The Gaffer's on it. Robbie Nielsen's on it.
Oh.
I
John
suppose.
Robertson's there as well.
Just trying to think.
Right. Number 5. Is anybody keeping a track of the scores? Because I'm not.
Yes.
I got 1,000 bonus points on that last question, so I'm in the
So
lead.
this one is for 1,008 points. Who is Hearts'
Shoot.
top European goal scorer?
John Robertson.
Has to be, really, yeah.
This was a strange one too.
Was it?
Right. John Robertson for Bradley.
I would say the same.
We fucking know that,
No.
Tam. Come on, grow up.
Right,
Fucking-
I'll go later. Mark DeVries.
Production account.
I would have said John Robbo, but nah, it can't be. No. It's not Ian Ferguson. It can't be. He scored a ripper, but aye. But no, who else, man? Who else? It'll be somebody. Is he Latvian?
Nope.
What? Can you name a Latvian player?
just checking.
You know he's not Latvian.
I don't have a fucking clue. Gary Mackay.
Okay. Well, it is actually John Robertson. I've just been awake. Of course, it's Robbo. He's the top goal scorer for everything. Do you want to take a guess how many goals he scored?
9.
11.
22.
No, 7.
7.
Fuck
There's
off.
very
Tim.
strange names on this list. Well, there's not really. There's one that made that I thought, what? No chance. Mark De Vries is on it. He scored 4. Joint with Wayne Foster, strangely.
Wow.
He's got 4 as well. Mike Galloway, 5. Willie Wallace, 5. Robbo, 7. Soon to have Lawrence Shankland in there because he will score more than 7 goals this season in Europe, I'm telling you.
No, we'll get on to that in a minute. Mhm.
Right. Scores in the doors, 2-1.
Tam, annoyingly.
Even
Yeah.
somebody just got 1,008 points.
No, wasn't
I
it
did
me?
that. I got deducted 10 points, so Tam wins it.
No, aye.
No.
No.
That's
A lesson
how
in
math
life there.
works.
Yeah. A lesson in life there. Never, ever answer Stephen Presley.
Who's the worst on earth? Tam, sorry.
Aye. Do you get some bonus points if that was on offer? You can-
Yeah, we're gonna stop bleeping that out, man. It's fine. The world is okay with that word.
There's worse things
It's
going on.
fine, man.
I know, but
Aye, exactly.
Like Stephen
Fuel's
Presley.
nearly 2 quid a litre,
I didn't
man.
want to let people
Right.
peek behind the curtain, but I say the word because then that way I absolutely know that Tam will take out all the shite that we talk about that could potentially get us sacked for our jobs, put in jail, and end the podcast. So I say to make sure that he actually listens and picks them up. So there we go. We'll keep them in. Right. There we go.
It's not wrong.
Okay.
It's not
No.
right.
You're an absolute stupid and that's why they need to be kept in. Right. We got to talk about pre-season. Might as well. We'll start Saturday. Bradley, you were there. Give us your opinion.
I was there yesterday. The only game I've not watched is the Preston game. I can't remember what I was doing, but I've been pleasantly surprised with how they've been playing. It's, you know what, they're bonus fuck to watch these games. We know we've spoken about it every year. You know how teams play. They do shape stuff, and then they'll take Robbie will say for 20 minutes, then he press the ball, let them have it, and it's just the way that they try and work for the games and the teams that they're going to be facing. But I've been impressed with the setup. I like the idea of them busting an arse on a Thursday and a Sunday, or a Thursday and a Saturday, and keep working, travelling up on the day, and making them just have that realisation. And I know we'll go on to it, and a few bodies that have really stood out to me, and I'm impressed. I'm looking forward to us getting beat off County on Saturday.
Same. It'll be good. But I have, like I said, it's one of the things that we spoke about when we've had sort of players on the podcast before, and we talked about like how weird it was during COVID and not being able to mingle with pals and all that, and pre-seasons were done at the Orem and all that sort of stuff. Like they never actually got to do anything that you would class as like being a footballer, going away with your mates, etc., etc. So the fact that they've been away for warm weather to Spain, and then we're making them travel up and down, you know, England and then back up, and then England and back up, etc., to give them a taste of what it's like to travel and play it. I'm actually pretty impressed. It's good planning for the club, to be honest, because I think that's going to be, I know we'll come into like our season predictions and we'll talk about this season coming, but that's going to be something that I think Hearts fans really need to, for the first couple of months of the season, need to take into account. Like it's not easy. Like you'll literally travel on the Wednesday, play on the Thursday, travel back on the Friday, recover session potentially on Saturday, play Sunday. You'll have a Monday off, you'll train Tuesday, travel Wednesday, and you'll do that for 2 months. Do you know what I mean? So it's a hard schedule. Like, Ando, have you bothered to watch any of the pre-seasons or?
Absolutely not. No, I've not seen a single minute of it. I've not even seen a single goal clip or anything. Pre-season to me just does not interest me. It's for, if I'm honest, it's for the football nerds that give a shit about shape and formation and tactics and all that sort of stuff. I quite honestly, thumbs up, well done to you, Brads. I couldn't care. Right, as long as the team is in good shape to turn up at 3:00 on Saturday, and get beat heavily off Ross County, then I'm fine. Right, that's all I need. No, so I can't really contribute too much to that. But I did. There's an interesting point you make about the whole traveling up and down to England thing. I hadn't even thought of that, and that is quite good. It's like, because it is going to get them used to sitting on a coach for hours, sitting on a plane for hours. It's like these are the kind of things that will eventually fuck you up. And if you're not used to it, it's the kind of thing that you'll get off the plane or you get off the bus and you're like, oh fucking hell, like, well, whatever. But I know that's good wee bit of insight there. I like that.
Football players are the weirdest folk on planet Earth. They're total babies. They care about structure. Do you know what I mean? So like they'll have to have their dinner at fucking 11:00 before a game at 3. If they have it at 11:30, they'll be sick on the park and all this pure random stuff, and that gets all thrown out the window. Because, like you said, you're travelling, you're at the fucking Mersey airports, you're not getting a meal at a normal time, you're not getting a pre-match at a normal time, you're basically barely any warm downs, straight back on a coach, back to an airport, flying home, etc. So it is good planning. Like,
I just hope the airline that we hire to fly them all serves them all spaghetti hoops on toast like they're all used to. But, well, we'll wait and see.
Speaking of spaghetti hoops, Tam, how are you getting on? You aren't eating grown up food yet, or?
I've actually been learning how to spell with my alphabet.
Aye, really, your alphabet.
So
that's not even a joke.
What about yourself? You paid any attention to any of the pre-seasons?
Done a bit more than Ando. I've watched the goals clips that have came on Twitter. And that's about it. Not really been bothered. I just want them to make loads of signings, and that's obviously slowed down a bit until the week.
Well, we'll come
there, but
as seamless as always from you, Tam, and uber professional. Let's go on to talk about signings since you just mentioned it. Superb, right? Anybody, Brad? You were there on Saturday. Who the new boys stood out for you?
For me, and I'm going to be quite sad and embarrassing here because I've had quite a lot of time on my hands. I've been and watched a couple of training sessions as well. George Grant looks quality to me. Like he looks the real deal. I'm excited to see him. He looks.
Can I just interject, right? I know you're in the middle of making a really, really good point, but see, because of the name the way his name is spelt, we have to call him Jorge, right? We're not calling him George. We're calling him Jorge.
Gorgie.
There you go.
Grant.
Gorgie Grant.
Gorgie Grant. He just looks. For me, I know you loved Ollie Lee Corbett, but he was fucking lazy bastard for me. And this just seems to be a more complete package. His distribution looks great. He looks switched on. He looks like he'll work in really well with Harren, but have that quality product, that dead ball quality that we've been needing as well for corners, crosses, free kicks. So he is the exciting prospect for me. I'm looking forward to seeing him.
I like that you brought up Ollie, because friend of the podcast, Sam, the guy that was on our cup final preview or one of the ones before, absolutely detests Ollie Lee, so he'll be absolutely furious to know that he was one of my favourite players. So there we go. Just when you thought I couldn't be any merry a wank, there you go. You've got that to add to the file. So we signed Gorgie Grant, we've signed fucking Gorgie Rules for Australia, Lawrence Shankland, Alan Forrest, Robbie's wee boy Lewis, and then Alex Cochrane. So, Sam, give us some player lowdowns. Tell us the stats of all the players that we've signed. Who impresses you? Who are you looking forward to seeing?
I'd like to point out I called it when we signed him on a pre-contract, but he actually seems to be performing pretty well as Alan Forrest.
Oh, I forgot he played for the actual team you support, innit?
I know, big fan of him, as you know. Other than that, stats. Was Cochrane scored?
I love making you fucking.
I wasn't even going to bother.
Listening to you try to talk shite, you know any idea what you're talking about.
No, not really. But you know what? I'm really glad we got Cochrane on a permanent. By the way, I just want to point that out.
Glad why? What for?
Because he was a decent player. he's got
how many goals did he score last year?
I think he scored 3. Did he score 3?
Who did we sign him for?
5. Jesus. We signed him for.
That's not a hint, Dan. What are you talking about? You're just spitting random numbers, isn't it? Look at me, can't even sit still. Have you got piles, son? What's going on?
What he did is he wrote all his notes in spaghetti hoops. He's fucking trying to go through. He's trying to go through. He's got tomato sauce on his hands, trying to find what everything.
He's too cheap for the alphabet. All he's got is ooh.
Practicing his booze for the season. No, but you're right. Alan Forrest didn't excite many of the Hearts fans, myself included, but he looks pretty decent so far. He's got everything that we wanted sort of Gino Woodburn GMS to have. He'll take a player on, he's direct, he'll shoot as well, which I like. I think he could be a good asset this year. Barry Mackay, I know we're talking about signings, but Barry Mackay is just caviar. Even watching him in pre-season, he's just, I'm proper excited to see how good he'll be this year, given that he's settled, he's got his contract, he's got a pre-season under his belt. I think he just suits us. He just seems to be loving his football right now, so I'm excited by that. Lewis Nielsen's been getting decent sort of marks as well. He looks like a good prospect for us. Was he featured? Did he play any on Saturday, Brad?
I don't think so. I don't know if he came on as a sub. I kind of wasn't overly paying attention. I was just too busy chatting to my old man. It wasn't that exciting a game or enthralling a game. You didn't pay full attention to it, but I don't think he did come on. I just don't know where he's going to feature now, because if we are looking at potentially another centre back, he's not going to play over Rills, Halkett, or Kingsley.
Aye,
definitely. I think he's better than Civic at centre back. That's for sure.
It's one of the things we're probably going to talk about later on, but we might as well talk about it now, because Civic's a weird one, isn't it? It's like this experiment to have him play centre back. I don't know if we're wasting his talents, because he's much better and more comfortable playing defensive midfield. Like, I think he played a good part in the penalty that we got against Preston. I think he burst forward with the ball and sort of ran at Preston, which seems to be his strengths. He's one of the ones really that I don't know where he features this year, if I'm being honest with you, with Civic. It may be good off the bench, but he's not going to take Halkett out of the team. We're not going to have Brown, Rowles all this way, and no one replaces Stephen Kingsley.
I think what Robbie's building is almost two like-for-like teams. That one will feature on a Thursday, one will feature on the weekend. And your back line will probably be whoever a centre-back is, Civic and Nielsen. And then your wingers and stuff like that, you'll probably see more of Hendo, you'll see more of Connor Smith this year. Actually, there's another one, a point. Connor Smith, he should be getting a game over GMS every day of the week.
100%, mate. Same with Henderson in that day. Like, where he's got a hat-trick at the weekend, Connor Smith.
Aye.
In the Lowland League or whatever. So, aye, I'd agree. But we're going to talk about that later on. We might as well talk about it here as well. You guys will go around the table. Preferences. What's your thoughts on Europe v the league this year? Ando, where would your priority lie if you were Robbie Nielsen?
Oh, difficult one. I think I'm going to say it has to be the league, because I know that if you do well in Europe, obviously we're guaranteed a certain amount of money anyway, right? And you can add to that pot by winning in Europe. So I think, not exactly sure how it works, but we're going to earn a certain amount of money minimum from Europe. So that's already locked in. So we can go out and get absolutely scudded in every single game, and we'll still collect that check. This is our first time in Europe for, well, at that level of competition for a long, long time, like fucking 15 years or whatever it was we spoke about earlier. For me, in order to get the team stronger, to be able to improve on that position year on year on year, I think you do have to prioritise the league. As boring and as wanky an answer as that is, that's what you have to do.
Boring and wanky. Tam, what do you think?
Definitely the league for me. I think it's really important that we cement qualifying again next year.
Corbett, can I change my answer? I just realised Tam's gave the same answer as me, so it's clearly wrong. I'd like to prioritise Europe, please.
So, but I agree with Ando. I think it's important we get third place again, get that consistent amount of money. We've got a real chance of really getting a good backing now. And if we keep qualifying for Europe, it's going to be better. So we need to do that.
Am I right in saying, or will we not know till sort of midway through the season, but does third, do we have an automatic group stage qualification place again for next year?
Pretty sure we do, because what Rangers done in the coefficient last year. I think a coefficient's like a 2-year rolling thing or something. So
a Europa League shout, like playoff type thing, and then guaranteed conference for whoever it is that doesn't win the cups and finishes third type thing.
Yep.
The access list for next year will be made available probably, I think, around Christmas time. I'm sure it is, when it's all said and done. So,
Brad, what about yourself?
I agree with the boys. There's no point in us chucking everything at Europe this year to be, ultimately, we know probably be out the competition by October, and by that point have ruined the league and finish 5th or 6th. And then you've got the rest of the league trying to chase your tail. Fans get fed up, start getting on the players back, start getting the managers back, and ultimately it could be all kind of avoided.
I agree. I feel that we won't know. I feel like we're going to prioritise Europe. I feel like we'll put all our eggs in the basket and hope that we can hang in there till whatever happens in Europe, and then really push on in the league. And I agree with you guys. I think if we want to cement ourselves back as Scotland's third best team, suffocating that European spot and making sure that we get it year after year is the only way that we can do that, because it makes us able to sign players, better players. We'll get more money. We can make Tynecastle better. They're talking about having our own training facility. So the more money that we have rolling in, the better everything becomes. The more lucrative we are for players. Players will want to come here because they want to play in Europe. So I agree with you. I was actually thinking about this the other day as well, thinking that see your Finlay Pollock, your Connor Smith, your Hendersons and that, I'd be playing them in Europe, because see if they, we're not going to win Europa League, we're not going to win the conference, right? We're not going to do it. We might, if we had a great draw and we played well because of Tynecastle, etc., we could potentially get out of the group of the conference depending on who we got. But we're not going to do anything in it. So, what if one of them has a Nathan Patterson? Do you know what I mean? They play 2-3 games in Europe and are amazing. We could sell them for big money. Do you know what I mean? Craig Gordon, we know, is amazing, so he'll probably be amazing in Europe too. No one's going to come in and spend £20 million on Craig Gordon at 40. It's not going to happen. Then you think, right, well, it's probably going to happen to Kingsley, your Barry Mackay, your etc. etc. So we don't want to lose them before the season. Do you know what I mean? You don't want to lose them now. You would want to lose them next summer after we could replace them with the next guys. If Alan Forrest comes in, does amazing, he can be the next Barry Mackay and then sell Barry Mackay for profit, etc. And so I was thinking about that.
You're going to be able to sell Ross Stewart for $7 million.
Aye, mate. Aye. Big cheesy on the European stage. Absolutely GG Buffon in it. It is not. Make me look an absolute.
See on the player side of things, though, it'll be hard to manage that when you've got players like Gorgie Grant, who will be a journeyman, will maybe never get an opportunity to play Europe again. So you'll probably want to give these boys the opportunity, the stage to do it. So,
aye, and you're right. And what I'm saying there is, I'm not saying we didn't show up with the under-18s and humiliate ourselves. It won't happen. But I think like as long as the idea for Europe is go out and see what happens, like go enjoy yourself, play on the stage, go express yourself, like be a good account of yourself, then fine. But the Sunday, like you said, Brad, Europe's just a great occasion for us, and it'll be brilliant. But we're losing to Motherwell, or 5 points behind Aberdeen, or Dundee United, or whatever it is. You know what it's like. People are moaning because they're at a pre-season friendly and can't sit down. We get started dropping points left, right, and centre. They'll moan, myself included. So, aye, it's a strange one. We'll come to league predictions and stuff later on. We've been ignoring it because we have a Liam Boyce situation here. Some of us in the podcast are absolutely delighted at the signing of Lawrence Shankland, and one of us hates Lawrence Shankland. So, Ando, I want to talk us through the signing of Lawrence Shankland. Remember that this is recorded and that people can come back and watch this if they deem fit. Episode 88, probably called Ferns Faros, if you want to reference this in the near future.
Right, I don't want to say that I hate Lawrence Shankland. That's a bit of an over exaggeration, but I think I'm not. Like, my balls aren't tingling at the fact that we've signed Lawrence Shankland. I just genuinely, I'm not excited about it. It's like we had all that. No one will know what the fee is, but obviously it's rumoured to be 6 figures. So let's guess and say it's 500,000 or 750,000 or whatever it is that we've paid for him. That money for me could have been better spent on somebody that is probably a little better quality. When he was a Championship player, he banged the goals in, brilliant. Then when he came up to the Premiership, shite. 1 goal in every 7 games, I think it works out as. I'm happy to be corrected on that. There's been too many other players that we've had like that. Like fucking James Keating's being another one. Like, all right in the Championship, shite in the top division. I don't see the wow factor. I just don't get it. And to be honest, I know you're going to draw comparisons with the Boyce situation. Obviously, famously, go back to whatever it was 2 years ago when we first started this shit. That I wasn't a fan of Boyce. I'd seen him in a couple of games, scored a couple of goals. It didn't have the wow factor for me. And then he made me eat humble pie because I set my challenge, and he went and absolutely blew it at the water. And then obviously we're now besties.
So what's the Lawrence Shankland? What do we need to get What's the challenge that you're setting him?
I think I said in the group chat, because I don't want to just say 5 goals in 10 games, because 10 games is probably too short a window given some of the teams, how tight the schedule is. He's going to need a little bit of time to bed in, so I extended it out to 12 games. He needs to score 6 goals in 12 games, a goal every other game. If he can do that, then I'll go, yay, Lawrence is here. Woo.
Well, he scored 2, so he's all right there. He's
they don't count pre-season.
Competitive
Scott
games,
Wilson
Sam,
scored on fucking Saturday. That doesn't count. Pretty sure we got rid of James Keatings before he even came to the Prem, didn't we? We not let him go in the summer or something. But you just mean when he went. I don't think he's ever played in the Premier League.
No, I don't think so.
But that's okay. What I mean. That's the whole point. Is like is someone that can't come up to the Premier League and perform. He's a Championship level player. That's just the level he's at.
Finance, then. Is that what
used to be shite and now he's still shite.
Yeah.
But Brad, you've seen him in the flesh on Saturday, although it be rusty, etc. Obviously signed he signed like fucking Tuesday of last week or something, but it took ages for us to announce it. What was your thoughts?
Well, they were obviously down south, so he's had, if anything, 1 session with him on the Friday, and it would have been a light session. He looked all right. I don't think he'll be setting the header on fire, but he's a fox in the box. I think he's what we need. We've had for so long just big, huddy strikers. Somebody who's actually just going to be poaching about in there. You've seen his first goal. That's what we need. Just wee tap-ins, clinical finishers. I'm happy with that. If he doesn't do much more than score goals for us, I'll be more than happy. That's what Robbo did. You know
Well,
what
I think
That's
we go
that's
through
what
the
he's doing.
episodes. I'm sure we had an episode called "Fucking Shoot." I'm sure we had
Yeah.
an episode, and that summed it up. See, second goal for me, right? Sloppy as anything, right? Proper shite goal. But Boyce, Mackay, Gino, Woodburn, GMS all take a touch when that ball comes back to him for the keeper. They all take a touch. They'll all try to play a pass. They would all try to do something different. He just fucking laced it. Thought, fuck it. Keeper saved it. It's back to me. Just shoot. If it goes in, it goes in. If it takes the deflection, we get a corner. And that's what we're missing. First goal as well. That just instinctive thing. You look at I love Leon Boyce. We all do, right? And I think I'm proper excited to see Forrest, Mackay, Boyce in the 10 and Shankland up front to see what we can create, because so many times last season you think of chances v Hibs, the semi-final, Boyce gets put clean through, puts it wide. Against Celtic, ball comes back to him, he volleys it wide, hits his penalty in off the post, wide off the post. When it comes to that sort of instinctive finishing, that's what I'm really looking forward to with Shankland. And I'm with you, Brads. If he fucking stands in between the 18-yard box and just waits for balls to come to him, I couldn't give a shit, because Mackay, Boyce and Forrest will do all the running for him. I don't want to see him like a Boyce. So we don't need two Boyces. We don't need Shankland out wide to try to win balls and putting crosses into the box for Nabe Day. He just needs to stay penalty box to penalty box, and that's it. And I think he will set the header on fire. I think he'll be brilliant for Hearts. There you go. I just killed him. Not only is he wearing number 9, and that is the killer for all Hearts strikers, I've just told him that I think he'll be amazing. Tam.
Yeah, Nando scored 2 goals in his debut.
But he was pish. Surely we never gave him number 9, did we?
He was. He
was number 9.
He was number 9. Scored 2 goals against Wraith, and then did fuck all since then.
Got the 9 dog, aye. And then he was 37 or something last year, wasn't he? Tam, what's your thoughts on Shankland?
Well, as you know, it's not like me to be positive. I'm quite a negative guy when it comes to Hearts, obviously. But no, I think Shankland will be 20 goals this season.
Bold prediction. Well, might as well. Let's if we made Ando be on the spot, let's do it. It's part of the thing anyway. Our season predictions, but we'll do a Lawrence Shankland one. Prediction: many goals Lawrence Shankland will score this year. Brad's all competitions.
19.
Still don't get the 20.
19 for Brad.
If he gets the 20, I'll get the blonde mohawk.
Right, nice. Tam.
Class.
Aye, 20 for me.
20 on the button.
Nah, over 20. Let's say 22.
1. I was going to say 21, being bold. Right, Ando, what are you thinking? 15.
I take that. Even
Corbett.
15.
Corbett is saying 27.
Oft.
I think he'll be outrageous for Hearts.
You've been fucking sniffing glue again, man. What's the matter with you?
He's been, remember, we did a thing, remember I pulled all the stats about how many goals fucking Nesbitt had scored and how many games and how many goals Shankland had scored, and we fucking signed Danny Amankwa or something like that.
Craig Whiten, actually.
Craig Whiten.
Craig Whiten. We literally, for the first time in ages, we've signed a player that ticked all the boxes and made sense to get in. I think the way we play, the style of football that we play, the players that are there, I think Shankland will be a real hit for us. Right, before we move on and we'll do our predictions and stuff like that, talk about the new season tops, because they are absolute belters, aren't they?
They're very good.
Honestly, I think it's the best we've had in our time.
I'm up there. The away top is an absolute beauty. It's one of
I've already nearly worn holes in mine already because I've had it on so often.
That's all right. That's not the slightest bit weird that you're a grown man, but that's fine.
Mad that tweet from earlier that Anne Budge had their
how funny was that?
I've normally I'd have bought all the tops by now, not bought a single one yet.
Is that because you're wearing Kev's polo shirts?
Am I wearing Kev's polo shirts? It doesn't have big.
He's moving into house, so you might as well.
Excuse me, this is far more upmarket than a crack den. You're
that's
yeah. To be honest, I keep meaning to buy the home one, but I've just not got round to it yet. But I will definitely get it for Saturday.
Aye.
But obviously won't get it because I'm an adult.
No, it is a belter. Like, I'm no massive fan of the Umbro kits. I think retro Umbro kits are really cool. I find some of our most laziest tops have all been the sort of Umbro ones that are a bit shite, but these ones have been totally class. Well done to the club as well for getting fans involved in launching them as well. It was pretty cool. I did laugh at the away top, the controversy that caused with the wee video for all the stuff that was on it was pretty funny. That made for an interesting WhatsApp the club to be like, here, I'm not being funny or that, but if you pause this video at this seconds, you can see some offensive things on the bottom of that list, which was fun. Right, so we spoke about players that we've brought in. Anybody still feel we need to strengthen? Obviously, we don't have just take goalkeeper as red. We don't need to say that. Anywhere else, Brads? What are you thinking?
On the goalkeeper one, would you have somebody established come in?
I'd give you a chance. I'm
talking about established goalkeeper. Can he keep showing up to the training and not getting noticed?
No, you're banging it.
Xander Clark's not got a club. Would you have him?
Yep. I'm not even kidding. I'd take anybody right this very second. We cannot go into a season where we're going to play Thursday to Sunday for 2 months, 3 months with Ross Stewart as a backup goalkeeper. I believe, now status could be wrong, he's had 2 clean sheets for Hearts against East Fife and Bonnyrigg, and they were pre-season friendlies. In every other game he's played for Hearts, he's conceded goals. In the Premier League, he's played 1 competitive match for Hearts, played against Motherwell, conceded 2, it was absolute dog shit. He's conceded 3s and 4s to Queen of the South, 3 against East Fife or whatever it was in the League Cup. We cannot go into a season with a 39-year-old goalkeeper playing Thursday to Sunday every single day, every single week. We just can't do
it. I really think they're going to play him as well, which is worrying.
See how you say you're taking anyone? I don't know what Joe Pereira's up to, but would you take him?
Well, actually, I've been saying it before, and I'll promise Twitter will post them. I'll spend the time tomorrow when I'm bored at work, and I will go through appearances and goals and shots on target, because I'm telling you, Ross Stewart has a worse ratio than Joe Pereira. I'm telling you right now. I have him playing something like 8 competitive matches for Hearts and conceding something like 16 goals or something like that.
That's mad, eh?
Absolutely crazy.
So bad.
Absolutely you could actually probably do better than that.
I would do better than that.
And which was it? Crawley? Did we play? We played them at Tynecastle. Who did we play? We played Preston. Who was the other team? Tranmere. That first Tranmere goal, or the only Tranmere goal, is a header straight at him, and he palms it into his own net. It's beyond a joke. But we've slaughtered that cheesy on here before. We don't need to do it again. Right. Anybody else?
I think we need a centre mid, another one. Just with Benny being out till January or something. Right. Another sort of holding midfielder would be good, because what have we got? Herring, Halliday, and
probably the only position I actually didn't think we need
anybody. Really, is a centre mid.
We've got Herring, Devlin, Gorgie Grant. We've got fucking Peter Herring, Halliday.
Smith.
I suppose we've got Pollock as well.
Pollock. Wouldn't
all right. Well,
I'm not saying
I was wrong. That's fine.
No, you're not wrong. If somebody class came in, you wouldn't say no. But it wouldn't be my absolute to hang with. It wouldn't be my absolute priority.
I still think we need another striker.
I agree with you.
Striker, right? I would say.
Yeah, somebody who can fit into those roles, because, as we said, there's probably going to be 2 different. We'll see 2 different Hearts squads this year: the European team and the league team. So they need to have depth in all these positions. And I think Boyce will factor more as a 10 this year than he is a striker. So we need somebody else in there. I don't know if they're still got contacts with the boy in the Was it the J League he was playing in before, or China?
No,
They nearly came through before. Don't know if they're still working on that, or just get somebody else in who's a free agent. Just get another striker in.
Aye, we need a striker. I think we need a different type of striker. There'll be games where it won't click. There'll be games where we just can't get it going. Mackay having a bad day, Forrest having a bad day, boys, whatever. Or game like Motherwell away, where we have to change the way we play. We have to go a bit more direct. We'll have to beat presses, etc., etc. We need a striker that can play as a target man. Whether it's not just saying launch big long balls up to him or whatever, but we need a presence up there for when it does go tits up, and we need to just start putting the ball over the top type thing. So I like to see us explore that market. My worry comes from the wide areas as well. I can't believe that we're sat here 24th of July in 2022 and Gary Mackay-Stevens still plays for Hearts. We're going to go into a European campaign where, like you said, he'll feature in one of those match days, whether it be the Sunday after the Thursday or it be the Thursday, whatever one it is, and he offers us absolutely fucking nothing. We said that he offered us nothing in the Championship. We're like, oh, give him a pre-season, it could be decent, could come on to a game. We've given him a season, he's been nothing. That's a worry. So, and again, for whatever it is with Gino, since he's got himself fit and got his contract or whatever, he's just been nowhere near the impact that he was first time round when he was on loan type thing. So that worries me. It worries me out wide because Mackay and Forrest are only proper wingers. And then you're looking at the bench for people to come on and make an impact. Our most impactful player from the bench, as we know, Zaran McInnes, who has went to Perth Glory or whatever they're called. So those worry me as well. Like,
I think I don't know where I read it, but I think they're just going back down the spine again. It looks like they're wanting another centre back, another centre mid, and another striker. So I don't think they're going to actually recruit in these wider areas.
Aye, which you must imagine that. Did you change shape on Saturday at all?
Yeah, a few times.
Yeah, they probably play with a couple of shapes. 3-4-3 is probably going to be the shape for the season, but playing it that weird way with the three in behind boys, Shankland, etc. I think we look more settled when we played sort of 4-2-3-1, but I don't know if Robbie doesn't really like to play forward at the back with the players that we have. So, but challenging on two fronts, domestic and European, we're going to obviously need more than one for formation as well. Any players you'd like to see go?
I've called it. Stuart
GMS. GMS and Halliday doesn't factor for me.
I think
Halliday, interesting.
I think Halliday gets a bit of a hard time for fans. He scored 2 in a derby, so he can stay for as long as he likes for me now.
Yeah,
I've got no problem with Halliday at all.
I'd like to see Gino do more. Jury's out on Gino for me at the moment still.
Aye, same.
Tell you who does look like they're absolutely busting their backside for a position is Michael Smith. Because I think he realises he's not going to factor in his first choice wing back. He's not going to factor in his first choice centre mid or centre back. So he's kind of lost his place in all these positions. But he looks sharp. He looks sharp in the first couple of games.
Do you know what? This is why GMS bugs me, right? Because Mikey Smith, right, on paper, Mikey Smith wouldn't feature in any of our teams, right? But as soon as Mikey Smith plays, you go, fuck, that's why he plays. Because he's like, wherever you ask him to play, he gives you 100% commitment. He's never anything worse than a 7. He can score a goal, he can pick a pass, he'll get stuck in, he goes forward. He's basically everything that you want somebody fighting for a place to be. And then you mirror that with GMS, who, like you said, we've watched player after player come in of a decent calibre, and he probably at no point thinks, so I better up my game here because I'm not going to feature. Do you know what I mean? And then he comes on and it looks like he's just fucking there just there for a day out. Like he never seems to have any of the urgency that anybody else has. So forgot about Mikey Smith.
Collects collects a wage. That's all he does.
Well, that's certainly how it feels. I know that folk last year were moaning, saying that he had as many goals and as many assists as Barry Mackay, but we all know how stupid an argument that is. Like, when, if Boyce and Sims could have put the ball in the back of the net last year, Barry Mackay would have had about fucking 40 assists. The amount of chances that he created for them both and they missed was outrageous. Right, that's enough talking shite about pre-season. The big game obviously starts on Saturday, so we'll go around and we'll do our match day predictions, then we'll do our season predictions first. So, Ando, Saturday, Ross County at home. What's your prediction for the opening game of the season?
It'll be a hard fought. Hearts 1, Ross County 0.
Nice one. Tam?
I honestly think it'll be a draw. Ross County look alright, so I'm going to say 1-1.
Brads?
0-0.
Okay. I think it'll be comfortable for Hearts. I think it'll be 2-0 or something like that. 2 or 3-0 to Hearts would be my prediction. Right, season predictions. So, like last year, we won't go over the review of last year. I believe one of us said Paul Hartley would be the manager. Probably would be sacked after about 6 games and had us finishing 8th. And one other of us said that Hearts would do no worse than 4th because Robbie gets results for Hearts. Gloat or whatever he was. The guy that said that was the number 1 Robbie hater on the podcast. So we'll go through them again. We're kissed and made up now anyway. We're best pals now. So, season predictions. Ando, I'll start with you. We'll go through final league position, golden boot, worst discipline, how many trophies will win, who will get the most assists, who your player of the year will be, who the biggest flop will be, and then any banter wild card prediction that you would like to make.
Alright, so final league position for me will be 3rd. We'll cement it. No bother. Golden boot will be Boise. Worst discipline will be Halliday. I think silverware will be a big fat 0. Most assists will be Bazza Mackay. Player of the season will also be Bazza Mackay. And the biggest disappointment will be Lawrence Shankland. And my sort of banter prediction, if you like, is that I'm going to be made to look like an absolute fucking arse ride when Shankland scores 6 in his first game and absolutely bleaches me. So there you go. That's my predictions.
Thomas, what's your predictions? Get the spaghetti hoops out.
Wait, I'm just putting it together. Got tomato sauce on my fingers. So, final league position will be 3rd. Golden boot, Shankland. Discipline, it's nailed on. It'll be Cammy Devlin. Silverware will win the quadruple. Assists, I actually think Boyce is going to get more assists because he's going to be in number 10. And he'll also be player of the season. And disappointment is that cheesy.
Any wild card predictions?
No. That was so bad. It's like I should have prepared.
He's not done his homework.
I know.
Right. Final league position, 5th. Golden boot, Shankland. Discipline, I agree with Tam. It's going to be Cammy Devlin. Silverware. Did we play the Troon Cup this year?
No, not yet.
So none.
Open
None.
Cup it was as well.
Open Cup, and that was it. Assists, I've actually gone with Grant. Player of the season for me, I've put Grant as well. And biggest disappointment, I've put Liam Boyce. My wild card is that before Christmas, Corbett will be calling for Robbie's head.
Man, that's not a wild card. If we don't win Saturday, I'll be straight back to it.
That is an absolute certainty.
Yeah, 100%. Right, I think we'll finish 4th. Golden boot, I think will be Lawrence Shankland. Worst discipline, Halkett. Trophies, none. Most assists, I think, will be Stephen Kingsley. Player of the year will be Stephen Kingsley. Flop will be... does it have to be a signing? The biggest flop, or
no,
just anybody?
Just anyone.
Who do I think's going to be shite? Well, GMS is shite, so that doesn't count.
I don't know if mine counts then either.
I think
he will feature though. That's going to be part of it.
I'm going to put Cammy Devlin in there. We'll say Cammy Devlin. I don't. Not that I think he'll flop. I just don't think he'll be as good as Georgie Grant. Gorgie Grant. I don't think he'll be as good, and Peter Haring is fucking the best player in the middle of the park that we have. So there we go. Wild card is exactly what Ando said. I think that he'll be made to look an absolute by Lawrence Shankland, and it'll be absolutely beautiful.
Bring it on,
it'll
man.
Be absolutely beautiful.
Oh, aye. It's like lining up your request for what you need me or want me to do, and by way of penance for that.
We never done any season predictions for Europe. Will we wait until we have a rough idea as to who we're playing, and then we'll say how many games we'll win in Europe, all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, go for that, aye. Because just now it could be fucking anybody we're playing. We might get a fucking powerhouse and get pumped into the Conference League, and that might change it completely.
We'll still win the quadruple.
Yeah, we'll wait and see.
It's fine. Bring them on.
Shut up, man.
So actually, we never spoke about it today. Talking of trophies, we get drawn at home to Kilmarnock in the last 32 or whatever it is, last 16 of the League Cup. I was going to call it the Premier Sports Cup, but I will not, as what they've been shown Celtic pre-season friendlies over actual games in their actual competition that they're sponsoring, which is a fucking piss take. So we'll call it the League Cup. I was going to have something else I wanted to rant about, but we'll save it for another. We've got a long season ahead. We've got about 38 podcasts.
Plenty of time. Aye.
We've got about...
It's the first comeback pod, man. Come on.
Exactly. And the good news is that this Friday we are hopefully having another sit-down conversation with Joe Savage, talk about the season that's just went and the season that's going ahead, talk about his sort of predictions for the league, how he's finding it, ambitions, etc. You'll have all heard them speaking on the telly about wanting to challenge Celtic and Rangers, etc. So we'll dive into what that looks like and how we can achieve it. So we'll let you know when and when that's happening on social media.
To be honest, that annoyed me. The comments on that tweet. Somebody shows a bit of ambition and they're like, well, why are you doing this? It makes no sense.
But look, we'd be the exact same. Like we're only behind it because he's.
To be fair, if Ron Gordon came in and said that, I would be taking the piss high. So
if we were, Ron Gordon said the word lexicon, which I think I've ever heard any fucking chairman in the SPFL say.
I've never spelled that with my alphabet spaghetti, man. I don't know what that is.
He also said boo boo, which I will never accept. Never accept that.
Actually, you probably want to rant about what the fuck was he going on about for saying the derby comes too early in the season?
I don't care. Let's wait until we've got the first derby out the way. Then we'll decide whether or not we're going to comment on what the fuck they're up to over there. Makes no.
They're going to start throwing shit until it could ultimately come back to us. So,
and we've said before, and it's a path well trodden on this podcast before. It's great that we have the ambition, but with the safety net of playing each other 4 times a season, and then also the further safety net of having the top 6, where basically we bounced into the top 6 outside of Celtic and Rangers. Well, maybe actual there or thereabouts with both of them, unbeaten in 9 or something like that, I think it was. We were on a brilliant run since we got absolutely battered at Ibrox, and then you jump into the top 6 and you got to play Celtic and Rangers in quick succession, and I think we bounced out of it like fucking 6 without a win or something like that. Where 1 win in 6 it was. I think we beat Dundee United in the first game, drew with Ross County, and then lost the rest. So, like, the folks say, but if Leicester can do it, Leicester are backed by a fucking Thai billionaire or whatever it is. Let's not pretend that they're working with £600,000 signings for the Belgian second division like we are. So, aye. But anyway,
they only spent 48 million to get to where they were.
Aye, I know. Only. Absolute dog shit. But anyway, we'll leave it on that, boysies. I can't wait to be fucking furious with yous every Thursday, Sunday for the next 3 months.
It's going to be good, man.
Yeah, boys, it's good to be back. I'll see you all later.
Catch you later, mate.
Yeah.
Catch you after.
Or get out.